Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. I see my little green bars moving, but I saw that yesterday. So if you missed part one, you didn't miss much. It was just how do you become a police officer? Who did you speak to? So you don't even know what's going on yet. We have an arson case, and the woman lives with, I think, just her son, but then there are other people that stay in her trailer. She lives in a trailer park, and it's out of the kindness of her heart, I think, that she lets people stay there when they need to stay there. So she let this 19-year-old kid stay there, and we don't know yet. The house, the trailer burnt down. He told the kids that were in the house, get your mom home now. If she doesn't get home now, I'm going to burn this place down. And he had a gun, and he says, you're not allowed to leave. No one's allowed to leave. I'm going to burn this down. If you try to leave, I'm going to shoot you. And then they left anyway. And then he left. And then he came back, and then the trailer burnt down. Now, there is a twist. There's a kid that lives in the trailer, too, that is fascinated with fire. So now we're trying to find out who done it. Maybe it was someone else completely. You don't know.
Yes, I think I can see the state line road just south of that dot that you've got on there.
Okay. And I'm going to rearrange this to show you, excuse me. Can you read on the Google Maps what the distance that you would have to travel to go from the 712 Hawthorne to where the line ends in Google Maps with the route?
Yeah, if this is the route that we've seen on that, I'd say that's probably fair. 12.7 miles.
25 minutes?
It depends.
Depends.
Correct. There's a lot of factors that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a long light at County Road 17 and 120,
You're
right?
It can be.
And it can be a long light up there at County Road 6 and 17.
Sure, depending on time of day.
And you get over to State Road 19 and County Road 6, and that can be a very long light as well, correct?
Absolutely.
Give or take, whether you catch the green one or whether you catch the beginning of the red one, there could be a little difference in there, right?
Yes, sir.
You're right, Eileen.
Mm-hmm.
Bren did say that.
I'm going to show you what's marked as Defendant's Exhibit E at this point. Are you familiar with that at all?
Is it the logo DFlock?
Yes.
I'm not familiar with DFlock now.
Are you aware that there is a database in which you can go online and you can find out where all the flock cameras are in the United States?
That'd be cool. I've never heard of it. Wouldn't be surprised if there was.
Is this a map that I'm showing you?
Surely you don't mean Bobby. Surely.
Yes, I see a map.
Okay. Does it show Elkhart Road?
Yes, sir, it does.
And does it show State Line Road?
Yes, I believe that's this gray line. And then one of these gray lines.
Okay. And do you recognize the map?
I understand the area that it's showing, yes.
Okay. The area in which it's showing, is it a fair and accurate representation of that area?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
In your investigation, does there appear to be a small symbol on this map?
I see one, yes.
And is that the approximate location or the location itself of where you believe the flock camera to be at the north over on State Line Road and Elkhart Road?
I'm not sure specifically on that camera, if I'm being honest, but I would totally understand if it's the same location. Yeah.
They all are. Sandra, they all are.
Judge, I move this into evidence.
Thank you. Any objection, Ms. Clays?
No, could he specify what exhibit it is again, please?
This is defendant's exhibit E. I'm taking them out of
E
order.
is
I
an
apologize.
egg.
E is an egg, yes.
Defendant's exhibit E is admitted without objection and ordered published. Proceed, Mr. Ruggieri.
Once again, Detective Louts, this is a fair and accurate representation of the area in which you got the last flock reading for Mr. Williams' car as it was traveling north towards Ontario up in Niles, where his mother's house is.
I'd say that's probably fair, yeah.
May I publish, Your Honor?
You may.
We did the OJ trial.
Detective Louts, can you see that on your screen?
I can.
You see there what appears to be like a small cone-shaped object just to the right of what says defendant's exhibit E?
And do, for clarification, it is upside down.
Would you like me to correct it?
It may help.
I don't have one of these at home, so it's kind of new to me, as it probably is to you. How about now?
Looks good. Yeah.
In that map, you see Elkhart Road, County Road 5,
Yes, sir.
and it crosses past that what appears to be a cone shape.
Yes, sir.
That cone shape is just north of State Line Road, correct, in Cass County?
It appears so.
And that would be the location one would assume would be the flock camera.
Right. Yeah, I haven't looked up the specific latitude and longitude. I'd say that's probably fair.
But that was also located on the map, the Google map that we discussed in Defense Exhibit B, correct?
Yes, that area. Yeah.
Which once again showed a certain amount of mileage, but a 25-minute estimation from Google on what it would take to travel from 712 Hawthorne up to that flock camera.
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's marked as Defense Exhibit D. Do you recognize that?
There's a lot to take in once. So we've got a map. I recognize the map on the right. I'm not sure what we're seeing here on the left.
With regards to the map part itself, do you recognize that?
Yeah, it looks like that area that we've been describing in the past exhibits.
Okay, and is it a fair and accurate representation of a map of County Road 5?
Why
State
is he submitting a completely different map set? We just went through a whole map set. Why is he giving a different one?
line area and similar position, or a position in which one, if compared to Defendant Exhibit E, where that flock camera would be found.
Gonna
Yeah, I
watch
think
fried
these
greens again.
these locations are similar. Yes.
Okay.
He's gonna watch beaches.
Move to admit Defendant Exhibit D.
Okay,
Come
Mr.
on, what's
Ruggieri,
that
you're
one
gonna have
Sally
to speak
Fields?
up. Ms. Clays, it would help if
Julia
you spoke
Roberts?
up too. The jurors are having trouble hearing both of you because you have decided that you only want to talk to each other instead of the judge and the jury. Please speak up. Say that again, please.
What's that movie? It's so popular. Everybody knows the name of it. Sally Fields. Julia Roberts dies. Spoiler alert. After she has a baby, when her mom tells her she can't have a baby. It's so funny and so sad. And everybody knows the name of this movie.
Your Honor, I would move to admit Defense Exhibit D.
D is in dog.
Yes, Your Honor, D is in dog.
Ms. Clays, any objection?
May I ask a preliminary question of the witness?
You may.
Detective Laux, may I approach him?
You may.
Oh, what's not moving? In State's Exhibit D, there seems to be an address location on a pin. Do you see that?
I do see an address.
Is it your testimony that
It's the monitor and the tissues because they're going to watch Steel Magnolias. Sandra, thank you.
address
Before your time. Shut up.
has something to do with this investigation?
I'm not familiar with that address as
no.
it
Go
pertains to this
sleep.
investigation.
That sucks.
May we approach?
You may. Ms. Claves, now that you've had an opportunity to ask your preliminary question and have it answered by Detective Laux, do you have any objection to the admission of Defendant's Exhibit D, as in dog, into evidence?
There is no objection by the state with the limiting instruction that has been agreed upon with the parties in the court.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, off the record, at the sidebar, we had a discussion about the admission of Defendant's Exhibit D, as in dog, and we discussed a limiting instruction. Mr. Majeric, Ms. Clays has already made her record that she agrees to the admission of Defendant's Exhibit D, so long as we have the limiting instruction. Any objection if I give the limiting instruction?
No, Your Honor.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you are to consider Defendant's Exhibit D, as in dog, but only as it relates to the location of the flock camera, not to other matters that are identified on Defendant's Exhibit D. You may publish.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now that's a long distance. Is that a...
Most people do that once a week. Most people do that once a week. Could you imagine? I'm going to stream 5 days a week from now on. That still sounds like an awful lot, doesn't it? 5 days a week I'm going to stream. Don't worry, I'm not. I'm not going to take off. But that was lovely. It was... I slept, and then I ate, and then I slept, and then I ate, and then I slept, and then I ate. I didn't leave the house. It was great.
Right.
Yeah, it's,
Detective Laux, with regards to Defendant's Exhibit D, there is a map to the right-hand side of that. Do you recognize that area?
I do.
That shows County Road 5, or once you cross the state line, Elkhart Road?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And that pin
All 13
would
of
be
you.
in the similar position as we had seen in
We are all
Defendant's
this
Exhibit
channel.
E.
If the chat wasn't our chat, this channel would be nothing. The chat is more important than anything else in this channel, and it's true, and no one can deny that.
The flock conal shaped item, correct?
She's correct.
And we pointed out that from 712 Hawthorne to that area, using the Google map of Defendant's Exhibit B, it's about a 25-minute travel, give or take lights, speed, things of that nature, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. That was a long way to get to a 25-minute answer. In your investigation, you spoke, as you said previously, on 9/11 of 2024 to Chelsea Reeves, Caden LeGrand, and Travion Reeves, correct?
Yes, sir, that sounds right.
And also in your investigation, you found out that the September 8th, 2024 fire was not the first fire that Travion Reeves was involved in.
Objection, may we approach?
Okay. Excuse me.
Come on, they had to know before now that they were going to talk about this.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we've got some things to discuss outside your presence. You're all jurors in this case. I must tell you now, that, and I will repeat this again each time you're permitted to separate. Generally, should not express any opinion about the case before it is submitted to you for deliberation. However, you are permitted to discuss the evidence presented in this case among yourselves in the jury room during recesses from trial. All jurors and audience must be present during these discussions, and you must reserve judgment about the outcome of the case until your deliberations begin. You're admonished that you may not discuss the facts of the case with anyone other than your fellow jurors. You may not listen to discussions among or receive information from other people about the case. You may not discuss this case with me, the lawyers, the parties, or with any of the witnesses, members of the media, or any.
He's just gonna give the instructions. So the reason we stream at 4:30 a.m. is because, you know, sometimes it's hard. Like I started this because I would go to work every morning at 8 a.m. But every morning at 4:30 a.m. my neighbor across the street would leave. And every morning I would still be awake. I still haven't gone to bed yet. And I would hear him start his truck. And I'd be like, oh, I gotta be at work in 3.5 hours. I need to get some sleep. Oh, I can't sleep every night. I can't sleep. So I decided to stream.
Okay, so where I believe we're at is you ask a question of Detective Laux about a prior, I don't know that you used prior, about
At least
a fire
3 minutes,
before, I
Ren.
think is what you said, that involved, I don't remember if you said Trey or Trayvon. We had an objection from the state. First, let's have the objection. Ms. Clays, go ahead.
Judge, the objection is that this is completely impermissible character evidence, and it's through the wrong witness. There has been no notice by Mr. Majerick of any 404B evidence, and this specifically falls under 404B1 prohibited uses. The state's position is that this is an absolute harpoon and is completely unacceptable.
Miss Clays is upset.
Detective Laux has no personal knowledge of anything that may or may not have occurred prior to his investigation in September of 2024.
You're done, let me know.
I'm done, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Majerick, go ahead.
Detective Laux does have some information that he received from both from Caden, in which he says that he's not going to lie. He says he likes to play with fire. He likes to start fire, see how it goes, how it travels, how it resolves itself. And this was 2 days after this fire. He also then went on and said that right during this fire, as they were leaving.
Let me stop you a second. How is this not hearsay?
I'm just asking, Your Honor, my question was, in your investigation, you found out that the fire of September 8th was not the first fire Travion Reeves was involved in, and not asking him how he got that information, who said it. And
then you're not going to have, how's it? Mr. Majerick, somehow, if it's in a report, Detective Laux had to learn of that. And unless he's got firsthand knowledge, I don't know how we're getting into this area with this witness. I'm not sure you can get into it at all, but I don't know enough yet to make a ruling on that. I'm just talking about through this witness.
well, Your Honor, with regards to, that's Travion. With regards to Caden himself advised that he liked to play with fire. And I'm not asking that. In his investigation, I was going to ask if Caden had a fascination with fire. I wasn't going to ask what specific words he said. I wasn't going to ask any more than that with regards to that response that was offered by Caden. But I'm not asking specifics. What did he say? I'm asking if during his investigation, he found out that they did, and both of those are true. Now, I could approach it through Caden because he's the one who offered it.
Exactly. I think you finally got to my point. Look, I've got a preliminary question. Detective Laux, do you have any firsthand knowledge of this?
In terms of
Either Caden or Travion. That would be Caden LeGrand or Travion or Trayvon Reeves committing a prior fire. firsthand
I
knowledge.
have no first, they made statements, one of them made statements that, yeah,
Hang on.
sorry.
I'm talking about firsthand knowledge.
I have none.
That's what I thought. Okay, so don't you have to address this through the two witnesses, Mr. Majeric?
I can go that route as well, Your Honor.
I think you have to. I don't see how else you're going to get to this. And I think at that time, we're probably going to have a discussion whether or not you're going to get to go into prior bad acts. Now, I think it depends on what the question is. Again, I haven't heard enough to rule on that.
Clearly, it's very relevant, Judge.
So that
with
is your
this
ruling,
witness,
Your Honor?
though.
Yeah.
Not with this witness.
Okay. Any other argument, Mr. Majeric?
No,
Is
Your
it
Honor.
like 9
Ms.
o'clock
Clays, any other argument?
p.m.?
I have no argument. I would ask that if the court overrules this line of, or I'm sorry, sustains the state's objection, that the jury be admonished. I will address that later.
My witness.
Right, we should address it publicly. Look on record. I wouldn't.
So what would you suggest the court's admonishment be? That they disregard the question?
You say this, Judge. You say that, Judge. You turn to them and you say, this witness didn't know anything about Travion liking to start fires and has in the past. So you can forget about that. Just say that to the jury.
There was no answer, just that they disregard the question.
Yes, and not consider that and strike it from the record.
Yeah, how much is a large cheese pizza?
Mr. Majeric, your thoughts on that?
I'll leave it to the court's discretion with regards to the admonishment.
Thanks for the cheers.
Okay, after
Thank
hearing
you,
arguments
Monica.
from counsel, court sustains the state's objection as to the question asked by Mr. Majeric, based on the fact that Detective Laux has no firsthand knowledge regarding the substance of the matter to which the question was asked, that it involves hearsay, and also that it violates evidence rule 404A as to character evidence based on prior bad acts. I will admonish the jury, and I will also strike the question from the record when we get back in front of the jury. Now, I would suggest that we take a bathroom break now, because we're not going to take another one before lunch.
Does the court find it appropriate to address this same issue regarding our civilian witnesses at this point?
No, because I think you have different issues with the civilian witnesses.
Your Honor, Caden Rand is going to be my witness, so I'd like to be able to at least be heard. To the extent that the court understandably doesn't want to rule on something that's not technically before it, we are moving in limine or in whatever appropriate fashion for this information not to be brought up by defense counsel until there's a hearing in front of the court. We don't need this kind of harpoon again.
We would go this far. We will have a hearing on this before you ask a question on cross-examination, unless the state further opens the door, Mr. Majeric. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And
So motions in limine are supposed to be before the trial starts. They're not supposed to be in the middle of a trial. You have motions in limine. That's what they're for. Before the trial starts, this is what you're allowed to talk about. This is what you're not allowed to talk about. How can he have motions in limine now? That just annoys me.
The reason I'm saying this is because Ms. Clays asked Detective Laux, I'm not going to get this absolutely perfect, but I'm close enough without reading it back. If Detective Laux interviewed both Caden LeGrand and Trayvon Reeves, and he indicated that he did, he also indicated that they gave no useful information. Now, that may be a question that the jury has to decide, Detective Laux. I'm not commenting on your credibility at all. I'm just talking about whether we opened the door with that statement. And I want to hear what questions are going to be asked before I'm going to rule on anything going forward. So, Mr. Majeri, when we get to this, and we'll see, because Mr. Pitzer I take it Mr. Pitzer is going to talk to or interview, strike all that, question Mr. LeGrand next. Is it next, Mr. Pitzer?
We'll be calling Chelsea Reeves, then Caden LeGrand.
Okay, so when we get to Caden LeGrand, Mr. Majeri, unless Mr. Pitzer opens the door.
Chelsea's next, guys. We just have to get through this last, is he a fire marshal?
You are going to wait to go into any of that till we have a hearing on this.
Okay, Your Honor.
With a better idea of what the questions are going to be and what we expect the answers are going to be, instead of where we're at right now. Because if it's what we have right now, I do think there are issues, whether you're going to get to go into that or not. But again, this is all way too preliminary.
No, the jury has to hear that. They just
Recess for
will.
bathroom break. Can you do this in 5 minutes? Everybody back in here at 10:15.
Sure, Your Honor.
10:15.
If there's a child
Back on the
that
record,
loves
State
fire,
versus Christopher.
and there has been an incident in the past with fire, and the trailer burns down, that's relevant.
Williams, 20C01, 2501 F43. I have in court Deputy Prosecuting Attorneys Don Pitzer and Kathleen Clays. I have the defendant, Christopher Williams, in
We're
court
supposed
in
to get
person
an
by his
inch of
attorney,
snow on Tuesday.
Jeffrey Majeri. We are back on the record. Mr. Majeri, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Your Honor, if I may, the discovery shows and the evidence, I believe, would show that what we have here is a legitimate alternative suspect theory. And there's also the situation in which, why did the police not investigate information they received in an interview in which one gentleman, Caden LeGrand,
Same brand.
advised that during the first interview he took in this matter, that he likes to play with fire, he likes to start fires, he likes to see how they burn, he likes to see what happens and how they resolve themselves. That was not followed up on. He also offered that this was the second fire that the family had been through. The first one, according to Caden LeGrand, was started, the other one was started by Trayvon with a lighter, and it caught a mattress and burned the house down. And there was no inquiry any further as to that information.
Whoa, hold on. So he didn't just play with fire in the past. He burnt the house down in the past, guys.
And a track down. There are alternative suspects that are available here, alternative reasonable possibilities that can be expressed to the jury through the evidence and through things said. Now, I know if Caden can talk about his fascination with fire, and if Trayvon wants to deny that he burned a house down previously in Colorado, then there's the possibility that I can bring back Caden to rebut that. But that closes a whole line of inquiry, which is a legitimate investigation that should have been done by the police and was not done. Now, I can also I know that he's got other places I think he wants to be the next couple of days. However, I can also bring back detective and rebut the statements of either Caden. Trayvon wasn't asked, in fact, about if he'd ever been involved in a previous fire. But I believe that that is something that you said is we might have a hearing on later, but I think I should be able to go. I'm not asking what anybody said. I was asking him if there was a knowledge, if he received knowledge about previous fires, and then did he explore that or did he go any further into it? I'm not going to say, did Caden tell you he likes to burn things down, he likes to start fires, he likes to watch tissues go up, he likes to see how they resolve themselves?
Exactly. That's exactly what you did not ask. What you're telling me you asked is not what you asked.
What I asked was if in his investigation he found that there was a fire, that the fire of September 8th was not the first fire Travian Reeves was involved in.
Correct.
And how is that hearsay? And how is that 404B? Because I'm not inquiring as to his prior bad acts. He was involved in a fire, doesn't necessarily have to be a prior bad. Wasn't him. Maybe it was his mother, Chelsea. Maybe it was the kid down the street. But I'm not asking, did Travian set a previous fire in that question? I'm also not asking if he found that Caden LeGrand had a fascination with fire. When you heard that in your
Yeah, but it's the wrong witness, dude. Why are you asking him?
interview regarding this fire, did you explore any further? And if he says no, that's the end of the inquiry. But that does give me an alternative suspect, legitimately. There were only 4 people in the house. 2 of them had a fascination with fire.
So let me ask you a question, Mr. Majeric, because here's what I haven't heard. First, I'm going to hear from the state. Go ahead.
Judge, there are all kinds of evidentiary rule problems with this. First and foremost, I believe if questioned by the court, Detective Laux would testify that he has no personal knowledge of any fire that occurred in Colorado. The information that was provided about Travian and that incident was hearsay from Caden, who my understanding is also has no personal knowledge because Caden didn't live in Colorado. He wasn't there at the time of the incident that occurred, and has the information that he would be providing would also have to be hearsay. These are extrinsic acts that are not admissible, and Mr. Majeric is trying to show essentially a conformity by Travian or by Caden with the suspicious fire that occurred at 712 North Hawthorne based upon some of their character traits. That is not admissible. That is not what 404B is for. There are other rules that govern this, 607, 608. There's a balancing act under 403 where the state believes that this is highly prejudicial, and there's no evidence of any of this except for Caden making statements about how he likes fire sometimes. That's it.
So my camera keeps shaking because I have a monitor. I have a monitor right here with the camera is on top of the monitor, okay? I can move it to this monitor if I wanted to. I can move the camera around, but I have the camera right on this monitor. And in the back of the monitor, so the monitor is like pretty thin, but in the back is the little grill with the airflow, okay? And it's an inch wide. It's an inch wide. And Spooter, my orange cat, out of every single place in the whole world that she can lay, has decided lately to just start. She puts her paws up on that little 1 inch, and then she just sits there, and she sleeps, and she moves, and she looks around, and she's constantly just shaking my monitor. She has to. I don't even know how you sleep like that, but that's how that's where she wants to sleep right now, on this little back of the monitor. And then every once in a while, her little head will pop up. Right now, just a little head will pop up above the monitor, and then my camera moves. So if my camera is shaking, that's her fault, and I'm not changing it because It's kind of really cute.
So the state believes that this line of questioning at all is completely objectionable under all of these rules and completely inappropriate.
Mr. Major,
Your Honor, I can't ask Caden, if he'd heard from Travion that he had burned a house down previously playing with a lighter. I can ask Travion that question. That gives me the alternative suspect, which I think I can explore because they did not investigate any further. However, if Travion totally denies, I should be able to rebut with Caden. How did you hear it? Did you make it up? Because if he made that up, then there's a lot of other stuff he could be making up in this case that puts this man, Christopher Williams' liberty in peril.
here's the problem, Mr. Major. I listened to everything you said. I'm not saying you can't develop. Mr. Williams, you need to listen carefully, okay? Because if this were a different situation, I would rule exactly the same. That being, you had a prior fire that you allegedly started, or make it worse, that you actually started. I wouldn't let the state go into that unless they can show me that it comes in under 404B. That's the problem that we have. What you're talking about doing in large part, Mr. Majeri, is exactly what 404A is to stop. Character evidence of prior bad acts. What you didn't give me yet, maybe you can, I don't know. I don't know the evidence like all of you do. Maybe what you can give me but haven't yet is evidence that here we go. As you said, there are 3 other people in the home. That Trayvon Reeves, Caden LeGrand, or Gabrielle Claudel started this fire. Not some other fire, this fire. I don't know whether you've got evidence of that or not. That's what would be acceptable on an alternative suspect theory. The other point I'm trying to make, and I thought I'd made it before we took a break. This is properly brought in during your defense because the state didn't open up the door to all of this. You may have to recall these witnesses if they have testimony that and evidence that is admissible. In Mr. Williams' case in chief for his defense. Now, I sometimes allow quite a bit of leeway on cross-examination. Ms. Clays, however, objected. It doesn't seem to me like you're going to get the cross you want done at this time unless Ms. Clays decides she's not going to object. And I do think this is a big deal because on cross-examination, you get to ask a lot of leading questions. You may not get to do that on direct. So I haven't heard anything that changes where we're at right now.
I guess I was laying a record.
Yeah, as you're entitled to do. For appeal purposes, that's if you get convicted.
But wait, it wasn't in the 80s, was it? Because in the 80s, that was just allowed. That was a normal thing. Yeah, it is. We're gonna get an inch of snow tomorrow, okay?
I guess for appeal purposes, if you're found not guilty and the state decides to appeal, that's much, much rarer. Any other record you need to make?
Show my objection to your ruling.
Well, yes, I think that's a record already.
Right, thank you.
Yeah. And I think that goes way back when we had the jury in here. Now, let's go to reverse.
I just know that when I read appeals and they say, he didn't preserve it.
You ready to get the jury back in now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Clays?
Judge, can I just make a quick correction to the previous record?
Sure.
When we were talking before the break, the court
Yeah, not
advised that
acceptable.
their recollection
Not
of
acceptable.
Detective Laux's answer to the state's question of whether Chelsea, Travion, and Caden provided useful information. The court's recollection was that Detective Laux's answer was no, they did not. The state's recollection is that Detective Laux's answer to that question was yes, they provided helpful information and the information was consistent with what they had provided to patrol. When the state asked Detective Laux if Mr. Williams provided any helpful
You're right.
information,
You're
the
right.
state's recollection is that Detective Laux's answer was no, he did not.
That's correct.
Thank you.
That's correct. I'm looking back at my notes now. So to be clear, counsel, Mr. Williams, I'm sustaining the state's objection
I was
at
a
this
child,
time
and I got
based
filled
on
up
the
in
question
the 80s
that was
'cause that
asked.
was normal.
And again, it's based on the fact that there's no firsthand knowledge by Detective Laux. As to whether Trayvon Reeves did or did not start a prior fire, that it is hearsay and that it violates evidence rule 404A in that it's character evidence of a prior bad act. I will show the state's objection is sustained and I will strike the question from the record and admonish the jury to disregard the question and to not consider the question in deliberations. And then, Mr. Jury, continue with cross-examination. Now, Ms. Clay is ready to bring the jury back in.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Majeric.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's get them back in here.
All right, Mr. Majera can't have very many more questions for this guy. We've already went through 17 maps. And then we'll
Bring
get
the
to
jury back
Chelsea.
in, please.
But Chelsea's Trey's mom. You can ask Trey's
And
mom
you may
if
be
Trey
seated.
burnt her house down before, right? Right?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when we recessed, Mr. Majeric had just asked a question of Detective Laux, to which the state objected. The court sustains the state's objection and strikes the question asked by Mr. Majeric from the record. I'm admonishing you not to consider the question, and in particular, not to consider the question in your deliberations since it has been stricken from the record. And Mr. Majeric will ask more cross-examination. Mr. Majeric.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Laux, let's go back on something. You had previously stated that Mr. Williams did not provide helpful information. Is that correct?
To the best of my recollection, I don't think he did.
And previously I had asked you if you had talked to him for about 15 minutes on the phone.
That sounds right.
And he made denials, correct?
As far as I'm remembering, it's been a while.
And the information he gave you in that 15 minutes, he did not admit that he was involved in the fire, correct?
Correct.
And you found that as not helpful.
It didn't give me anything that I could corroborate or contradict. I had no way to prove that.
Okay. But it didn't bolster your theory that Mr. Williams had started that fire.
That's fair.
You were asked on direct about Gabriella Caudle, correct?
Yes, sir.
You spoke with both the Reeves and Mr. LeGrand on 9/11, correct?
Yes, sir.
You never spoke with Gabriella.
Correct.
You said you couldn't find her, correct?
Correct.
Did you call her number?
Honestly, I can't remember if I did or not.
Did you call her mother's phone number?
Don't recall if I had her phone number offhand.
Did you watch the on-scene video, as I think you previously testified you did?
Partially.
Okay. If that number would have been there, you would have called it, right?
Probably if I had seen that, yeah.
Okay. And you're saying you didn't see it?
I don't remember seeing that, no.
Are you aware that in that video, Gabby provided her parents' name?
I'm not aware of that.
Tiffany and Dan?
That's new to me.
And her mother's phone number?
I don't recall that. No.
And her own phone number?
I don't recall any of that information.
Did you recently try to locate her?
Recently? Could you be more specific as to recent?
Within the last month?
No.
In preparation for this case at all?
No.
Then you're the lead detective?
I
Did you ask, strike that, have you spoken to Travion recently with regards to this case within the last month?
No.
Caden, have you spoke with him within the last month?
No.
Chelsea, have you spoke with her within the last month?
Don't believe so, no.
Did you ever ask either of them how to contact Gabriella?
Did I ever ask them to?
How to contact Gabriella?
I believe I asked her if she had a phone number in my interviews back in September 24th.
And were you given one?
I believe so.
Did you call it?
I'm not sure, honestly.
One moment. Are you going to be available the next couple of days?
It's pretty unlikely.
If you were called back to court on a subpoena, would you be available?
It's I would do my
There
best, but it
are
depends on my current
18 people watching, and not all of them are chatting. Oh man, I wish chat would get crowded. Oh god, I'd be so happy.
situation.
You are having a baby?
I am.
Congratulations.
Well, not me personally, my wife.
I've been there, done that, but not her side. Pass the witness.
Redirect, Ms. Clays.
Just briefly, Your Honor, thank you. Detective Laux, Mr. Majeric had some questions for you regarding Defendant's Exhibit B, which was the Google Maps that generated the drive distance and timing. Do you remember that?
I do.
You're familiar with Google Maps?
Yes.
And are you aware that Google Maps generates an estimated time based upon distance of drive time?
As far as I know, it estimates the time, and that includes, like, if I were to do the same search at noon on any given day, it may consider traffic. There's so many things that go into those considerations.
When you research vehicles on Flock, it does not give you a speed that vehicle is traveling, correct?
Correct.
It does not give you traffic patterns of those roadways, correct?
Correct.
Is it still your opinion that the Flock images that the jury has previously viewed are consistent with the timeline of the fire?
Correct. Timeline, time of call, and then I can't speak to that other part, but yeah.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Clays. Mr. Majeric, recross.
Detective Laux, you previously testified that from about the time that the call came in on the fire to when the Flock camera alerted up on Elkhart Road and around State Line Road was about 15 minutes?
Yes, I believe the time of call, this is totally based on what I can remember, 10:16 maybe was the time of call. And I already can't remember the time of the flock hit 10:30.
Okay, but listen, I love laying down. I hate standing up. I do. Imagine snakes. They never have to get up, ever. They live their entire lives laying down. I love that for them.
2 maybe.
So 10:16 or thereabouts to 10:32 is about 15 minutes, right?
Sure.
You have no personal firsthand knowledge as to what time a fire, if a fire was started, to what time the fire started. But let me strike that. You have no firsthand knowledge as to if that fire was started by an individual, correct?
Correct. I don't know exactly what started the fire.
You have no firsthand knowledge as to what time the fire was started, correct?
Correct.
And you have no firsthand knowledge as to what time Mr. Williams may have left the residence, correct?
Correct.
But it clearly takes more than 15 minutes to get from Hawthorne to
Defense lawyer, gang
the
symbols.
Michigan Cass County flock, correct?
Driving normally, it would take probably 20-25 minutes. And then under certain conditions, I guess.
And if that fire was started by an individual, you have no firsthand knowledge as to who started that fire.
Correct.
As witness.
Thank you, Mr. Majeri. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do you have any questions for Detective Laux?
Why don't they just ask Williams if he did it or not? That would save a lot of time.
If you do, please raise your hand. I see one hand up. Okay, so listen
You
up.
have a
Let's
question
remember
for
some of
him?
the rules. Here's the first one. This is not your opportunity to try and fool the judge. If you don't write it so I can read it, I can't ask it. You've got to write legibly. At the bottom of the form, you do not have to sign your name. You do have to put your juror number. Like, for example, 6, 11, 12. I'm just reading 3 at random. Put yours down, not somebody else's, please. This has to be a question that is addressed to this witness and that this witness has knowledge of. Not questions about why the attorneys are doing something or why the judge is doing something. And counsel, join me up here, please. Question number 1 from the jury. Detective Laux, if there were other vehicles around the vehicle in the flock safety system, would they be shown in flock photo?
So let's say it's a high, I'm going to try to answer this best of my ability. If there's a high traffic scenario, say in that area, especially on County Road 6 and the 6-span bridge, there often is heavy traffic. If there could be 4 images of a vehicle in a single flock photo. The system, if it sees a license plate, it will generate a hit or its own separate image of each vehicle, if that makes sense. There will be, so let's say there's 2 cars. It may use very similar images between the 2 hits, but it will isolate which vehicle. But it would be could be broad range and have both vehicles in both hits even.
Thank you, Detective Laux. Ms. Clays, just any redirect.
Just one question.
Go ahead.
In any of the flock images that the jury has previously seen, were there other vehicles within those images that were removed?
Within the images, no.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Clays. Recross, Mr. Majeri.
No, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, based on the question asked by your fellow juror, do you have any additional questions for Detective Laux? No hands raised. Detective Laux, thank you for your testimony. You are not released from your subpoena. You need to stay under subpoena.
You are not released from your subpoena, Monica. You have to stay under your subpoena.
And Ms. Clays and Mr. Majerick will be in contact with you.
May I approach, Your Honor, or may we approach?
Come on up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that comes all under logistics, of which there are no rulings by the court on. It was merely informational, both for the benefit of the court and I believe counsel. Now, as it relates to you, Detective Williams, here's where we're at. Thank you for your testimony. You are not released from your subpoena. Good luck to you and your wife on the birth of your child. You should relax. We will figure out a way to do this if need be. You're not going to miss the birth of your child. You just got to trust the judge on that. You're not going to miss the birth of your child. Okay?
Thank you.
Is it Ms. Clay, Mr. Pitzer, next witness, please?
Yes, thank you. The state calls Chelsea Reeves.
All right, here comes mom, guys.
Come forward, face me, raise your right hand, please. You swear or affirm under the pains and penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? I do. Have a seat in the witness chair right there. Correct. Try to make yourself comfortable. This is a big courtroom. Please use a big voice. Will you do that for me?
Yes.
Let's start with spell your first and last name, please.
CHELSEAREEVES.
Thank you. Mr. Pitzer, direct.
Thank you, Judge. Miss Reeves, may I call you Chelsea?
Yes.
May I ask how old you are?
What's the other guy gonna call her? Mom? Or landlord? Or what? Can I just call you woman?
7.
Where did you grow up?
Right here in Elkhart, Bristol, Indiana.
Where did you go to school?
Well, kind of all over the place. I graduated from Central High School,
What year did you graduate?
2007, 2008.
What does that matter? Well, who cares? what
After
went
you
to school?
graduated, have you had various jobs?
Yes.
Can you
Who
tell the jury a
cares?
little bit about where your work history's been?
My work history started in 2020, because prior to that, I was married. My ex-husband was military. So we moved around. I was a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home wife. We got a divorce. I moved home in 2020. My work history started in factories. I went to customer service, then went to office work, administration, kind of back to factories, back to customer service, and I am back to factory work.
You said that you've been married in the past, correct?
Yes.
And did you live outside the state, outside the country? Where did you live with that?
Outside the state. We moved to North Carolina for 5 or 6 years. We lived there from 2012 to 2016, 2017, and then we moved to Colorado until I moved back home in the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. I think I officially moved home in January of 2020.
Chelsea, do you have kids?
I do.
What are the names of your kids?
My oldest one is Raina. She's 19. My next one is Travion. He is 15. My middle son is MJ. He is 13. And my youngest is Cam, and he is 10.
Wait a second, didn't she just say she had 2 kids? Do you have any kids? Yes, I do. I have 2. And she just named 4.
Can you describe Travion? Not the way he looks, but kind of who he is.
He is very big-hearted, very sensitive, he's goofy. He's an all-around good kid, I think. I mean, yes, he's been in trouble a few times, but he's kind of gotten his act together over the last couple of years.
Is he living with you?
Did she just open the door for him to ask if he set fires to houses? Did she? She said he's been in trouble a few times. Now, is the defense lawyer allowed to say, when you said he's been in trouble, what did you mean?
You.
Yes.
Was he living with you in September of 2024?
Yes.
Does he go to school?
Yes.
Where does he go to school?
Elkhart High. I believe that's what it's called now.
You indicated that Raina is a little bit older than him, maybe 19 years old, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Does she currently
You
live
have to
with
answer
you?
yes or no.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
Does she currently live with you?
No.
Did she live with you in September of 2024?
Yes.
You indicated another couple kids, one is MJ.
Yes.
Did he live with you in September of 2024?
No.
May I ask where he lived?
He is with my ex-husband.
And you also have Cam. Did he live with you in September of 2024?
No.
Where did he live?
Also with my ex-husband in Colorado at that time.
In September of 2024, specifically, I suppose the week of the 3rd into the 8th, where did you actually live?
710, the week of the house fire.
Correct.
710 North Hartford Street, Bristol, Indiana.
Is it possible it was 712?
It might have been. We hadn't lived there very long. Like I had just moved in, I think 2 months prior to that.
Okay.
So I was still 7.
Can you guys remember all of your addresses 100%? Can you nail them all? I cannot. I absolutely cannot. Although so my electric bill since I was a teenager and my mom moved out and I took over all the bills when I was 17, my all of the electric bills have always been in my name. Like it was never in my husband's name or a boyfriend's name or anything. So they keep a detailed list of your past accounts. So I can look whenever I want to, but no, I cannot remember my addresses. I just can't. Gun to my head, I couldn't tell you my addresses.
It was one of the two.
Do you know an individual named Gabby Caudill?
Yes.
How do you know Gabby?
That is my son, Travion's girlfriend.
How did you happen to know her? What was your relationship with her?
Gabby, she has been around for 4 years. Her and my son have dated, been together on and off for them few years. Gabby has lived with me a few different times. They now have a baby together. At that point in time, Gabby was living with me at that point in time as well. Kind of another one of my kids.
You indicated that Gabby and Travion have a child together, correct?
Yes.
What's the date of birth of the child, if you know?
January 23rd, 2026.
Okay, so that's just recently, correct?
Yes.
Do you know where Gabby is living?
Muncie, Indiana.
Do you have some contact with Gabby?
Yes.
Do you know who she lives with?
Currently, no. I believe it's a friend of her mother's.
How old would she be now?
16. She turned 16 in January.
So if she's 16, she just had a baby, she lives in Muncie.
Yes.
You indicated
sucks.
that in September of 2024, when this fire happened, she was staying with you.
Yes.
How is it that she would have been staying with you?
Her mother and her father were going through, I tended to stay out of their marital issues, I want to call it. I believe her mother, Tiffany, was trying to get away from her father at that point in time and needed somewhere for at least Gabby to stay. And I told her, go ahead and bring Gabby over. That's fine, whatever, you know. So she brought Gabby to my house and brought Gabby's stuff over. As far as Tiffany, I'm not sure where Tiffany was staying, but that's how Gabby came to stay with me that time.
You said something about you were kind of like mom or something. Can you explain that?
Yeah. My kids' friends always tend to call me mom. I'm that parent that door's always open for them. My daughter's friends do the same thing. They ever need somewhere to stay, they know they can come to my house. You're hungry, come over. You're at a party, something bad happened, call me. They all call me mom. Still to this day, all of them.
Do you know a Caden LeGrand?
Yes,
How do you know Caden?
another one of my kids.
How long?
Not biologically, but another one of my kids, yes.
Sure. How long do you think you've known Caden?
Caden, probably 2 years, 2.5 years.
Do you know how you met him?
Through Raina and Trey. Well, Travion. We call him Trey.
Can you describe Caden a little bit?
Like Travion. There's an age difference, but their personalities are a lot alike. Big-hearted, very sensitive, goofy. And kind of will just do anything for anybody, but some of them are my kids. Always around.
Sure. And I'm going to ask you to speak up just a little bit. Okay?
Sorry.
In September of 2024, was Caden also staying with you?
Yes.
Why was he staying with you?
Another one of those, he didn't have anywhere to live.
So he was welcome to come and stay with you for a period of time.
Yes.
Do you know an individual named Christopher Williams?
Yes.
Tell us how you knew or know Christopher Williams.
I've known him for quite a few years. Don't quite remember how we met. I want to say it was through Facebook years ago. Don't quite remember exactly how that even happened, but it's been quite a few years.
How would you describe, prior to the fire that happened, how would you have described your relationship with Christopher Williams?
We've always been pretty good friends.
Do you recognize Christopher Williams in court today?
Yes.
Could you please point him out, indicate what he's wearing?
A dark blue suit, light blue shirt.
For the record, the witness has identified the defendant, Christopher Williams, in open court. Proceed, Mr. Pitzer.
Thank you, Judge. The relationship that you had with this defendant, can you be more specific about the nature of the friendship?
As far as,
Were you boyfriend, girlfriend?
no,
Were you ever boyfriend, girlfriend?
no,
Did you ever have sexual
Okay.
relations, not to be personal,
Yes.
with the defendant?
Okay. So she did have sex with him, but he wasn't her boyfriend, and he did stay with her.
we have.
Okay. But generally, you considered yourselves to be friends and you were not in a significant relationship? You tell us.
No, it was never a, like the word you put it, a significant relationship. It was never like that. We were friends that, yes, occasionally we did sleep together.
Do you know where the defendant was living at the time of the fire? Let's talk about not staying with you, but do you know where he had been living?
In Niles,
Do you know who he lived with?
as far as I know, it was his mother, but I don't know if that was like his permanent address or if that's where he was permanently living, but I know that's where he had a lot of his things at.
Do you know what kind of a vehicle he would have had or had access to in September of 24?
A black Cadillac SUV.
Do you know whose black Cadillac SUV that was?
Assumed it was his.
You saw him drive it.
Yes,
Do you know an individual named Terrence Pettis?
yes.
How do you know Terrence?
That is my fiance.
How long have you known him?
6 years.
Is he currently your fiance?
Yes,
So you're still with him.
yes.
Let's talk just a little bit about Timberbrook. You lived in Timberbrook, correct?
Yes,
What is Timberbrook?
a trailer, modular, the home part.
Modular home, manufactured homes?
Yeah,
Do you have an idea when you would have moved into Timberbrook?
The beginning of July, end of June.
Can you describe the Timberbrook complex?
Like, as in how you get to, how you would have gotten to our house, or just,
Sure,
Wait
so
a
why don't you just
second,
describe?
Crystal? Crystal, no! You just retired, didn't you? Didn't you just retire? What do you mean you started your new job? You have to retire for a bit. Enjoy yourself.
It from the time you drive in? Are there multiple roads? Are there
oh yeah.
multiple
So
rows?
when there's only one entrance to go in and one entrance to come out. When you pull in, there's the main office, the pool area. You can go right, which will bring you back out towards beginning the front end of the complex. If you go left, it'll take you all the way.
Women are allowed to have male friends now that are not boyfriends or fiancés that they just sleep with and then go on with their life. That's acceptable now. It's been acceptable for men forever. It's completely acceptable for women now. Yep.
Back towards the back end of the neighborhood. We call it a neighborhood. I don't know if you want to call it a neighborhood or complex, whatever. Which is where we lived, was in the back where the newer houses were at. Kind of go over a little bridge area. You go through, would have been 2 stop signs. Second stop sign, you turn left, kind of go around the corner. And then our house would have been right there on the right-hand side. And back there in the back, there's multiple different roads, but they all kind of lead back to the same little spot because there's only one entrance, one exit.
So one way in, one way out.
Right.
This is State's Exhibit number 3. Do you recognize just what the roads are and kind of the layout of these particular manufactured homes?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you recognize that your home back in September of 24 is on that?
Yes.
Your Honor, I think this has already been introduced.
Yes.
Evidence. If you don't mind, I'm going to publish.
You may republish State's Exhibit 3.
I can retire if we get 1,000 more people.
So
in
Chelsea,
chat
are you
every
able
day.
to see that on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
So we've already looked at this, but I want to make sure that you also go over this. Kind of tell us where it is that one would come into the complex, what the roads are, and where your home was.
So where the red arrow thing right here, that was our house. And this is a very tiny map compared to the whole neighborhood, but
Your grandkids are going to be saying 6-7 to you for an entire year. 6-7, 6-7, a whole year. It's time to buy some aspirin. You're gonna need it.
where our driveway is at, if you go out and go to the left and kind of go around that curve and just keep going and go past South Hawthorne Street, keep going, and there would be another street that you would turn right, and that would take you out of the neighborhood and into the beginning of the neighborhood, which is the older part. This part is the newer addition.
How many doors led into your home?
2.
Where were the doors?
One on the front, up by the driveway. There was our driveway, and then the sidewalk led to the front porch, and then there was a front door, and then we had a back door that was back by our laundry area and our hot water heater that had a couple little stairs. It wasn't really even a porch, our back door, and then stairs that went down.
If someone were to walk into that home before it was damaged, tell us what we would look at. We're not going to have photos for you today, in part because of all the damage to the interior. But help us just understand, we walk in the front door, what do we see if we, let's say, turn to the right?
When we walk in the front door, if you go to the right, would have been a hallway. The first door would be my son's room, Trey's room, and then the next door was a bathroom that was shared with Trey and Raina, and the last door was Raina's room. When you first walk in, the front door was our living room, which that hallway is off that living room. If you go to the left, there was a kitchen, the dining room area, and keep going was the master bedroom with another door, go into my bedroom, which that was my bedroom. There's another door that's got a walk-in bathroom and walk-in closet. Right before you would get to my bedroom door, there's a little bitty hallway that goes off to the right, which is where the back door of the laundry room would be at.
In September of 2024, specifically the day of the fire, who was either living there or staying there?
That would have been myself, Raina, my son Trey, Gabby, Caden, and then Chris.
How is it that Chris, the defendant, came to live with you or stay with you at that location?
I had told him that he'd come stay for a little bit.
Who brought up the idea of him coming and staying with you?
I did.
Do you know when it was that he came to stay with you?
About 5 days before the house fire.
Why did
A
he?
Wednesday, a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
5 days.
I don't mean to interrupt you, I apologize. Why is it that he came to stay with you?
As far as I know, he wanted to get away from Niles, wanted to get away from where he was at.
What were your thoughts about whether or not he should come stay with you?
I mean, we were friends. I've helped out multiple friends. Like, just prior to that, when I had my house in Millbury, I had another friend staying with me until she got on her feet. We could do her own thing and get away from where she was at.
Yeah, but my question is, how did you get them to leave? How did you get them to get out when that initial period was over of getting on their feet? Never mind.
Didn't see it being an issue.
Did you and he have conversation about him coming to
I'm
stay?
scratching.
Yeah, briefly. I mean, it wasn't like we weren't in deep depth conversation. It was just one of those, hey, just come stay at the house.
Did you have some kind of an arrangement as to where he would actually stay or how long he would stay?
No,
How long did you expect him to stay?
not very long.
What do you mean by not very long?
A few weeks, month, maybe month and a half.
Were you expecting him to pay any rent?
No,
Were you working at the time?
yes.
Where were you working?
I was working for Walsh Commercial Cleaning at night, a third shift job.
What hours did you work?
From probably 9 p.m. to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 6.
What was the sleeping arrangement for this defendant?
Well, he slept in my room while I was not there because I was not there at nighttime. So go ahead and sleep in my room. But when I was there during the day, he wasn't there. So I had my bedroom.
Did you have any kind of a sexual relationship? Again, I apologize to be prying, but did you have any kind of a sexual relationship with him during the handful of days he stayed there before the fire?
Yes.
Did you all have any conversation about the relationship between each other, what that relationship was?
No.
Did he ever say anything about how he felt about you or what he wanted with regard to you?
We had talked a little bit. I guess, but not really. I didn't know that he wanted more.
Did you want more?
No.
Let's talk about Terrence a little bit. What was your relationship like with Terrence leading up to the fire?
As far as like, were we still together or not together? Or
Correct. What was the arc of that relationship up until the weekend of the fire?
we've never broke up. We've always been together. I mean, like any relationship, we've always had our little arguments or whatever. But I think we were fine.
Okay.
He had a house key to my house.
Did you give a house key to the defendant?
No,
Why didn't you give him a key?
didn't think that he needed one.
I think he's 19.
The
but I could
weekend
be
of the
wrong.
fire, I believe, happened on the 8th of September. I believe it was a Sunday. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, about 9:30.
Yo, Sandra, you could have gotten in trouble for that. It's crazy that some kids will run away and then you give them shelter and protection and you get in trouble for that.
Leave Sunday night.
Were you at 712 the weekend of the fire?
Briefly, I was. Not very long.
Did you go somewhere, let's say Thursday, Friday, Saturday before the fire? Did you go somewhere?
Thursday night I went to work. Friday night I went to work. Saturday I was gone most of the day. Saturday night I was gone. Sunday I came home, took a shower, changed clothes. I went to my aunt's house and then I left from there, went to go meet back up with Terrence for a little bit and then spent the afternoon with him. And then the house fire happened.
Did there come a time when you wanted this defendant to move out of your home?
Yes.
When did that come to your mind?
He was asked Sunday evening before the house fire to get his things and leave.
Was that done in person or some other communication?
It was done over the phone.
Did you have a conversation with the
That's just a lie.
defendant?
You lied. Like, there is absolutely no way any person in the world can have possession of Louis and then be like, oh, I gotta rehome this dog. Nope. No. It's impossible.
That particular evening.
Yes.
What was the nature of the conversation?
He was mad that I didn't tell him where I was at all weekend. And then he was asked, like I said, asked to get his things and just leave the house. He seemed pretty aggravated, mad about it. And then my fiance, Terrence, he got on the phone and he asked him, hey, just get your things and leave.
And you said he was asking about where you had been off and on during the weekend?
Right.
And what was your take on him asking you that?
My response to him was, I didn't need to tell him where I was at. We're not in a relationship.
You indicated that you felt that he was angry or upset about that.
Yes.
And did you actually ask him to leave the house?
Yes.
What was his response to that?
To be honest, I don't remember.
Did there come a time when there was some kind of a communication from this defendant that caused you some concern?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
When the conversation started getting violent, talks about a gun. He was trying to make me come back to the house immediately.
When you said the conversation got violent, can you be more specific for the jury?
It goes back to the gun being threatened to be shot.
What do you remember of that communication?
What I do remember is the phone being on speakerphone, and when he said that, I just kind of looked at Terrence like, are you serious? And that's when my fiance was like, well, I'm just gonna go get mine and we'll go to the house. And then we kind of stopped and thought about it. I'm like, you know what? No. Terrence was like, no, we're gonna put my gun up. We're not doing this. That's when Terrence, like, he had called him back, or we answered the phone, something. I don't remember if he called or we called him, but either way it went, Chris was told that we had put Terrence's gun up. It's not that serious. Just please get your things and get out of the house. We'll wait for you to get your things before we come back.
So when you got this communication from the defendant about What, you needed to get back to the house? Or he was gonna have a gun? What, remind me, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what?
Just tell me again, I'm just trying to make sure I understand what the communication was from the defendant that made Terrence think he might want to go get a gun.
That he told me he was gonna shoot me when I got back to the house.
That's what the defendant said.
Yeah,
Was Terrence in a position to be able to hear that?
yeah, my phone was on speakerphone and we're sitting in the car together.
Did Terrence say anything to the defendant?
At that point in time, before that, no.
Was there a later communication?
Yes.
Between whom?
Well, it was kind of like a three-way phone call because
Okay.
my phone was on speakerphone.
So you
So-
were able to hear,
Yes,
the defendant was the voice on the other end,
yes,
and Terrence was also able to hear.
yes,
Did you in fact go someplace where Terrence could get a gun?
yes,
Did you and Terrence discuss whether that was a good idea?
yes.
What was that discussion?
We ended up deciding that it's probably not the best idea because we didn't know what was going to happen. So we decided to put the gun back up. And that's when Terrence told told Chris that, hey, bro, I put my gun up. It's not that serious. Just get your things and get out of the house. We'll wait till you're done and then we'll come back to the house.
So did you wait and not go directly back to the house?
Yes.
What was the reason for that?
Well, because Chris had said he was on his way to the house to get his things, that was fine, and everything was fine. Chris had said that in a very normal tone, very respectful. He said it was cool. I'm on my way to the house getting my things now. So we just kind of hung out in the car and sat there and waited. We sat there and talked for a while. My kids were calling back to back, back to back, back to back. Not thinking, I have teenage kids. They're probably calling for DoorDash or they want money or want me to bring home this or something. It's always something with teenage kids. I ignored it. Finally, I answered because my son's girlfriend, Gabby, called. Gabby usually does not call me unless it's something serious. I answered the phone and it was my son, Trey. Told me the house was on fire. That is when we went back to the house.
Can you describe what Trey's demeanor was like when he made that phone call to you?
He was scared and yelling. I could almost hear the tears in his voice.
And I'm sorry, tell us what he said when he spoke to you.
Am I allowed to cuss while I'm up here?
You are.
Okay. He said, Mom, the fucking house is on fire. And he's screaming it. And I said, what? And he said, Mom, Chris lit the fucking house on fire. And at that point, I looked at Terrence and he said, we gotta go. We're going now.
Did Trey say anything else on that conversation?
No,
Did you tell Travion to do anything?
no. Well, I told him to get away from the house.
Did you tell him whether or not you were going to try to meet up with him?
No, I believe I actually hung up on him.
How far away from the house were you?
We were roughly 10, 15 minutes away from the house.
Did you go to the house?
Yes,
Who was driving?
I was.
About how long do you think it took you to get there?
About 12 minutes.
When you got to the house, tell us what you saw.
Before I even pulled onto, I believe it's County Road 19, the road that the Humane Society is on. Is it County Road 19?
I believe so, yes.
19, State Road 120. Before I even turned right, because we were coming from County Road 17, turned onto State Road 120. Before we even turned onto the road that the Humane Society is on, I could see the smoke from my house and my heart sank. I knew at least two of the kids was okay because, well, Gabby called and I talked straight off his phone. I didn't know where Caden was at because I didn't hear from him. We pulled into the neighborhood, got back to the house, and we couldn't even pull up past. Actually, we were stopped. They stopped us before we even got to house number 710. We couldn't pull no further up to the house than that. I had got out of the vehicle and ran up to the house. didn't really, at that point, didn't even really care about my house. Just wanted to know where my kids were at because, well, they're not standing outside. I don't see my kids anywhere. And I say my kids as in Trey, Gabby, and Caden, because at that point in time, Raina was not home. Raina was, I believe, out of town with her boyfriend at that time. I don't know who I had talked to or who told me, but they didn't see any of the kids. And it was a first responder, somebody who had got there before anybody. So I'm calling my kids, calling all their phones. Where are you guys at? Finally, I got one of them an answer phone. They were hiding in the woods. I finally got them to come out of the woods and come to me to know if they were okay.
Can you describe, let's talk about each of these kids. Can you describe what Travion's demeanor was like when you finally were able to find him? What was he acting like?
He was scared.
What made you think that?
I don't want to say scared. I think he was more disappointed. Because like I said, mind you, we had just
Maybe approach, Your Honor.
we had just
Stop.
Oh, he just stopped a defendant in the
please.
middle of emotional.
To the jury. Mr. Majerick made an objection based on speculation. The court's going to overrule that objection. There is no question before the witness right now. She was in the middle of a question, but I stopped her. So, Mr. Pitzer, you're going to have to ask another question or ask the same question again to get it started because the court stopped you from testifying.
okay.
Mr. Pitzer.
Thank you, Your Honor. So really, you're allowed to say what you observed of him, not what
That would just be the worst. As far as gifts, that one would be 180 degrees from what would be good for me. For me, I like functional, period. If it has a function, especially if it has a function or earn me a little money somehow, that's what I want. Function. Decorations, not interested. I mean, I get them every year for Christmas and my birthday, decorations. And I look at it like, what am I supposed to do with this? Hang it on a wall, okay? It doesn't do anything. Socks, yes, functional. That's what I mean. I guess you could say toilets are functional. They really are. And I guess you could say one with a shelf is functional because that would provide enjoyment because I would always straddle it. I would never use it correctly because I just want to hit the hole. So I would giggle every time. So maybe that is right up my alley. All right. Just doesn't have to be gold though.
was necessarily going on in his mind. So it's about what you observed from him. Do you understand the distinction?
Yeah.
So what did you observe with regard to Trey when you were finally able to find him?
A lot. As his mom, a lot. I think he was mad. He was disappointed. He was scared. He was anxious. Didn't know what to do.
And he was behaving in ways that made you think that as his mom.
Yeah, he ran and hid in the woods.
Without telling us what he said, did he give you an idea of what had happened? Just a yes or no question.
No.
Did there come a time later when he told you what happened?
Yes.
Let's talk just briefly about Caden. Same question. What did you observe of his demeanor when you finally were able to see him?
Caden was speechless.
Is that normal for Caden?
No, not at all.
Anything else about Caden that you observed?
He was quiet. Aiden didn't know what to say.
Did there come a time later when Caden also told you about what had happened? Not asking you what he said, just yes or no.
Yes.
Can you describe what Gabby's demeanor was like that you observed?
Gabby was scared.
What made you think that?
When I seen Gabby, Gabby was bawling. She was still had tears running down her face. She was covered in a blanket, holding our puppy at that time, just crying uncontrollably, honestly.
Did there come a time later when Gabby also told you
If someone got me a $250,000 toilet, I would be pissed off. I would be so mad because first off, what the heck? What do you mean? Second off, like, it's a gift, so I have to use it, or I could hurt their feelings. But how dare you spend $250,000 on a toilet? How dare you? How dare you? So that would be bad. That would be a torture for me for years, because I would have to use it, or I would hurt their feelings, and I would be mad.
her version of the events?
Yes.
You indicate that there was a dog?
Yes.
Whose dog was it?
That was our family dog. We had just bought a puppy.
Was the dog also living in the house?
Yes.
What was the dog's name?
Depended on the day. Some days it was Zara, some days it was Little Dog, some days it was Nugget. It pretty much came to whatever she was called. I don't think she really had a name.
Chelsea, when you got there, was the defendant there?
No,
Was the defendant's car there?
no,
After you got there, was there any more communication that night with the defendant?
one time, yes.
Tell us about that, please.
It was after I had found the kids, kind of got them calmed down a little bit, situated to make sure they were all okay. When they had told me what Chris had told them, parents had called him on FaceTime off my phone.
Okay, and did the defendant have anything to say on the FaceTime?
No, not really, no. Parents had called him because the kids had said that Chris told them that if we didn't get there, he was gonna burn the effing house down. The parents had got mad. He called him on FaceTime in front of, had to been, I don't know exactly what first responder it was, but it was one of them, had called him and asked him, so you burnt my house down. And Chris kind of gave this weird smile and said, what are you talking about?
Were you able to see the FaceTime?
Yes.
And you said this defendant made a weird face. Can you be a little bit more descriptive with that?
It was kind of one of those, like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know, there's a word for it, like,
Smirk?
yes.
How are you going to sell a $250,000 toilet? How? Put it on Facebook Marketplace? maybe melt it down. You could probably, I mean, would jewelry places take that? You know, we buy gold. How much would they pay you for it? How are you going to sell a $250,000 toilet? I don't know. No idea.
A smart, like, yeah, I did it, but I'm not going to tell you I did it.
And you actually saw this.
Strike that.
Yeah, but he will never pay
May
me
approach.
for it. He'll
I
just
can ask
take the
another
toilet.
question.
I'm gonna sustain that objection. Strike just the last part of that answer where she indicated as if he had did it. Instruct you not to consider that for deliberations. based on that
Kind
response.
of pretty.
Mr. Pitzer's going to ask additional questions. Mr. Pitzer, go ahead.
You actually saw this defendant make a face consistent with what you just described, is that correct?
Yes.
Was there any more conversation at that time?
No, because whatever first responder that was standing there told us to hang up and do not contact him again.
The fire department was there, correct?
Yes,
Law enforcement was there, correct?
yes,
Did you speak with people from the fire department?
yes,
Did Trey speak with people from the fire department?
yes,
What about Caden?
yes,
What about Gabby?
yes,
Were there also personnel from the Elkhart County Sheriff's Office there?
yes.
Did you
I
communicate
love
with them?
firemen.
I believe so, yes.
Do you know if the kids communicated with them?
I know, I believe Trey did. I cannot speak for Gabby because Gabby's technically not mine and she was a minor. I believe they tried to get a hold of her mother that night to get permission for her to speak with law enforcement. I'm not sure if that happened that night. I do remember Trey talking to somebody that night.
Is it safe to say that
That's why. Now we found out why they didn't call Gabby, why they didn't question Gabby. So it wasn't a great big secret. It was just she's a minor and her mom wasn't around.
you cooperated?
Yes,
To the best of your knowledge, the kids cooperated.
yes,
Were you able to go into your house?
no.
So where did you stay?
We ended up staying in a hotel.
How is it that you were able to get to a hotel and stay there?
Red Cross, the Bristol Fire Marshal had set up for Red Cross to get in contact with us, and actually they had gotten in contact with us while we were standing there, and had all that set up before we even left the scene that night.
So do you recall where it was that you went to stay?
Sleep in,
So you went to a hotel.
yes.
Chelsea, tell us about what happened with your belongings that were inside your home.
What do you mean what happened? And we lost everything.
Can you be a little bit more specific?
If we didn't lose it to the fire damage, we lost it to water damage and insulation damage, or the fire retardant that was sprayed into the house. We lost everything to some type of damage due to that fire.
And not to dwell on this, but when you say everything, what types of things did you end up losing that were yours?
All of our clothes, our shoes, pots, pans, dishes, furniture, beds, blankets, pillows, towels, anything you can think of. And
If you're a fireman and you watch this stream, please come into chat. Please. Pretty please.
we walked away with what we had on. And what my son decided that he wanted to go back into the house and get while it was still on fire.
Did you lose documents?
Yes, I lost pictures of my dead brother. I've lost pictures
it's
of
kind
my
of
kids when
pretty.
they were little. Lost birth certificates that had to be replaced, social security cards. I lost my divorce decree that took me forever to get.
Oh, that one hurt. she finally hit below the belt. Yeah, my divorce decree is the only decoration I have in the living room. Right there on the wall. You walk in my house, boom, divorce decree in the living room. No, I don't want to lose that. Oh no.
Still have not replaced that because I don't want to feel like going to Colorado, get it again.
Chelsea, what then was your living situation going forward for the next little bit after the fire?
For the next 4 or 5 months, we spent in
A bidet would be another $80K.
hotels, various different hotels, whichever one was the cheapest for that week. And then finally, right before Christmas, we had gotten into a house through a lady that I knew through church. She knew a person that knew a person that let us move in. And we were there for about 6 months.
And then did you stay there?
Well, my intentions were to stay there until the landlord said that him and his wife were getting a divorce, and the divorce included that house, so they needed that house almost immediately. So we went back to a hotel because I just started getting to the point where I could start replacing things that we had lost in a house fire. Well, and all that stopped.
Do you have more stable housing now?
Yes.
Is that a much better position than you had been in after the fire?
Yes.
I want to take you back just briefly. You all spoke, meaning you, Travion, Caden, and Gabby all spoke with either fire or law enforcement at the scene, correct?
Yes.
Did you all go, meaning you, Travion, and Caden, go to the sheriff's office to give a statement a couple days later?
Yes.
Did you do that voluntarily?
Yes.
Did you give a statement?
Yes.
Did Travion give a statement?
Yes.
Did Caden give a statement to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Do you know whether or not Gabby went to give a statement?
I do not know.
Was she staying with you at that time?
At that point in time, no. She was with her mother.
Do you know how old she was at that time?
14?
So she was not under your care at that time?
No. Right after the house fire, no. I couldn't afford to take her in at that point in time.
Chelsea, since this fire took place, have you heard anything from this defendant?
No.
He hasn't contacted you?
No.
Not the night of, not the week after, not the month after?
No.
It's been all over a year, no contact from him whatsoever. Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, Mr. Pitzer. Cross, Mr. Majeric, please.
Oh boy, here we go, guys. Okay, I didn't touch anything. There we go.
Can I call you Chelsea?
Yes.
So Chelsea, back in early September of 2024, you were not in a hot, passionate relationship with Christopher Williams.
No.
You guys had been friends, as you said, for a long time,
Yes.
off and on, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Had you recently gone to
I
Atlanta
can
with
give it back.
Yes.
and with Trey?
Yes.
And then at some point, he may have had to move some things and he moved them into your trailer.
Yes.
In fact, he moved a couple of dressers into your trailer, correct?
Yes.
And those were for you. He wasn't going to keep them, was he? His mother gave them to you?
As far as I knew, yes.
Okay. There were no promises of a long-term love affair,
No.
and Christopher never asked for that, right?
No.
Okay. Had no reason to expect that, right?
No.
Okay. You never told your kids, Travion and or Caden, that you and Christopher were a couple.
No.
You know where Gabriella is?
Yes.
She's in Muncie.
Yes.
When was the last time you talked to her?
Yesterday.
Okay. Did anybody from the police department or the sheriff's office try to contact you about how to get in touch with her?
As far as
Within
for this,
Yes.
not until recently, no.
Oh, I just want to, because of what you guys were talking about, I just want to stop this trial right now and show you this other clip. I won't, but I have a clip coming up in the next couple days about, oh God, childlike actions in a relationship between a man and a woman.
They did try to get in touch with you about how to get in touch with her.
Yes,
Did you give them that information?
yes.
How recently was that?
Last week?
Last week.
Just in the last week or two.
Did you give them a phone number?
Yes,
In fact, you know where she's at because you're a grandmother.
yes.
When you moved back from Colorado, you said it was about 2020?
Yes, January of 2020, I believe I officially moved back.
Travian would have been 9 or 8 going on 9?
Oh, yes,
Okay. He's 15 now?
yes. It will be 16 in May.
But Gabby was living with you on 9/8, you testified, of 24.
Yes,
I love them, but I'm not.
Who
in
were
love
you
with
visiting in Atlanta? Do you remember?
know who was visiting.
Or you just go there for a vacation or?
It was, honestly, I don't know. Chris had asked me out of the blue, hey, you want to drive down to Atlanta? Or you want to take me out, I'll pay for the gas? Sure, why not?
Did he have a place to stay there?
I believe we got an Airbnb.
Okay. And are you aware that he has a place in California?
Yes,
He moved in with you, or he moved his stuff in with you September 3rd or thereabouts. You said it was about 5 days prior to the fire, which would have been about September 3rd if the fire was on September 8th.
yes.
And after he moved his stuff in with you, he went out to California, right?
I don't know where you went after the house fire.
Did you take him to the airport so that he could fly out to California?
No, after the house fire? No,
Okay. No, in between the time he moved his stuff in, in between when the time he moved his stuff in and the fire.
No.
Were you aware that he was in California?
no,
You thought he was here the whole time?
yes.
So I think you testified that he needed a place to put his stuff and you brought up the idea of him bringing it to your place?
Yes,
Okay. And that was 5 days prior to the fire.
yes.
Why did you bring up the idea of him bringing his stuff to your house?
We're pretty close friends. Well, we were pretty close friends. I would like to consider us pretty close friends. He's not the first friend I've helped. Like I stated earlier, I had, when I lived in Millbury, I had a female friend that I had helped out. She needed a place to stay for a little bit and put her things, and kind of did the same thing for her.
But he didn't ask you, hey, can I bring a bunch of stuff over to your house?
Yeah, I didn't think he was bringing all of his stuff.
I need to move really, really, really badly. And it sounds like she just lets anybody. I mean, I'm keeping her in my back pocket just in case. Just in case shit hits the fan and I really gotta get out of here. I'm just gonna go to her house. She's gonna let me.
But
You brought up the idea though to bring the stuff.
yeah, the things that he needed, yes.
Okay. And it was your idea that he move in?
Yeah, he can stay there for a while. Yes, that was fine.
You said there was no conversation as to how long he would be staying?
No,
You thought maybe a few weeks to a month?
yes,
And let's clarify, were you aware that when he would fly to California, he had things out there, like a life out there?
Yes.
He had a house out there?
Didn't really know that he had a house, but I know that he was living out there for a while. He had been staying out there for a while. Which is why I didn't think that he would stay at the house very long.
You said that it was sexual at times,
Yes.
and there were never a conversation about a relationship.
No.
Did he ever express his feelings like, I really love you?
Oh, we joked a few times. Yes.
Joking.
Yes.
And you had no knowledge or belief that he wanted more?
No.
Did he say he wanted more?
No.
Dude, asked and answered. Move on. You're just being creepy now.
It was the night of the fire that you asked him to leave, correct? To come and get his stuff.
Yes.
I thought he was 19 at the time of the fire. 19 years old, I thought. I think the fire was
You'd been
2023.
out pretty much that whole weekend.
Yes.
And when you were interviewed the night of the fire by Patrolman Schuster, do you remember Patrolman Schuster?
No.
You were interviewed by some first responders, correct?
Yes.
And you were interviewed by an officer, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, at some of the times that you were interviewed by the officer, Caden was there, Gabby was there, your niece was there, and Terrence was there, right?
Right.
So he was asking all of you questions at some point, right? And you explained to him you didn't know what brought this on because when you told him to get his stuff, you thought he was fine with it, right?
Right.
And you never brought up at that point until when he called and said he had a gun and he was going to shoot us. You didn't bring that up that night, did you?
No.
You didn't tell Patrolman Schuster, if it was Patrolman Schuster that was interviewing you, you never brought up anything about a gun, right?
No.
You didn't talk about going with Terrence to go get a gun, right? Right? In fact, you guys said you went to Terrence's cousins on Con.
Okay.
And excuse me 1 minute. So there was no mention of a gun and he was cool. That's what you
As
told
far as-
that's what you told the officer the night of.
Right. When he was asked to get the things out of my house and just please leave, he was okay with it. His attitude was fine. His demeanor was fine. He was respectful. Everything was okay.
9/11/2024, you go and talk to Detective Laux.
Yes.
Right. And he has a short interview with you prior to talking to the boys, right? And by boys, I mean Travian and Kate.
Yes. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I call them that too. The boys.
I know you called Caden your son in the interview. And we know Travian's your son.
Great.
And there was a conversation, and it was around 9:30. You told Laux that Chris said he was coming to pick his stuff up.
Right.
No mention of a gun to the detective, was there?
During the interview?
Yes.
No, I don't believe I was asked about the gun.
And you didn't say that he was really angry and he was getting a gun, so you guys thought maybe you needed a gun too?
Prior to that, no.
At the scene the night of the fire, you and Terrence were talking to the patrolman that was interviewing you, right?
The night of the fire?
Yes.
I know we had talked to a police officer that night, yes.
He was asking questions and it was brought up that from the time Chris said he was on his way there to when the kids called about the fire, it might have been 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was very, very close in time from the time that Terrence had talked to Chris and told him, hey, bro, just go get your things out of the house. We'll wait for you to get done. Chris was cool and calm, collected about it. I'm on my way there now to go get my things, whatever. It wasn't too long after that. My kids were calling and calling and calling. I was ignoring because I just figured, hey, they wanted me to order DoorDash, or they wanted me to send them some money so they could order DoorDash, or they wanted me to bring home Taco Bell or whatever the case may have been. And then, like I said, Gabby had called. So now I know something's off because Gabby usually doesn't call me unless it's something serious. Gabby will text me. Gabby doesn't call. So I answer it and it's Trey. All this within 5-10 minutes of getting off the phone with him.
So he says he's on his way and it's 5:10.
Yeah, he had to have been a lot closer, if not in the neighborhood when he said he was on his way.
In your house, he had speakers.
I believe so, yes.
That's what the kids were blasting the first time an officer drove by the house, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
An amplifier to run the speakers. Did he have clothes there?
Yep, he had a couple bags of clothes.
Couple bags of clothes.
Like a duffel bag type, not like trash bags, but like a duffel bag type clothes.
Did he have other equipment there?
He had a TV that Trey broke. A nightstand, or might have been a nightstand, or I think it was a nightstand. A dresser they had brought in.
Did he have equipment that had lights that went with it?
Yo, he could sue her because she didn't have sprinklers. And his stuff got burned. And he could win.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. And those were by one of the side doors. He kept it all piled up.
I believe he had it. If I remember correctly from that night, it was in the front room, my daughter's room.
Okay. So there was equipment. There was some speakers. There was an amplifier. There was clothes, a nightstand. And it was your understanding that all of that was taken out in the few minutes that he was there.
Right.
And he got it all loaded up into his Escalade before he took off.
Right. I'm gonna stand corrected.
Hold on.
There's not
There's not a question before you.
Sorry.
Just wait. We have to do this very formally. If Mr. Majerick wants to ask you a question, he will. So you have to wait now till he's done.
Me too, Bobby.
One moment, please. You are aware his mother lives on Ontario Road in Niles?
I don't know the street name, but I know it's in Niles.
You'd been there?
Yes.
You helped load up stuff to bring to your house?
There was a few things, yeah, I did help him. Yes.
Took more than one vehicle to get things from his mother's house shed to your house.
Yes, because he had told me I could have the dressers.
So there was the dressers.
Yeah, and those are the ones that he didn't take those. Those are actually still in that house.
But there was a lot of stuff that he took in that had to be unloaded and put into his vehicle when he left.
Yeah, I mean, it was big stuff, it was like, I said, the dressers, his TV, his clothes. I think it all would have fit in his truck had it not been for the dressers.
But it was a truckload full.
Yeah, right.
And he took it all out.
Yeah, every bit of it was gone except for them dressers prior to the house fire.
One moment, please. Excuse me, Your Honor.
I don't understand what he's getting at here because he's sort of doing the work for the prosecution right now, isn't he? He just established on the record that this guy moved all of his stuff out right before the fire, except for 2 dressers.
So up until the 8th of September, whatever relationship the two of you had, it wasn't a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
No,
It wasn't one where you were making
No.
plans into the future.
Yes.
no.
She
It
already
wasn't one
answered
where-
that.
Christopher was talking about making plans into the future.
Chris has always had plans for the future. He's always got this business plan going on and that business plan going on, or he wants to do this or wants to do that. At one time, we had talked about, me and the kids, even possibly moving out to Colorado, California. At one point in time, we had talked about moving out there. It was never, nothing was ever set in stone.
And you weren't planning on moving out there and getting married and having a long relationship, right?
Not getting married. I don't ever want to get married again.
Okay. But it wasn't that kind of
But you
relationship.
have a fiance.
No.
Okay. And so when I said he wasn't making plans into the future, it wasn't like you and I are going to get the house and it's going to have the white picket fence and we're going to get another dog, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay. And so there was no expectations, and then all of a sudden, things go crazy on the night of the 8th.
Yep, yes.
So it really looks like he is looking at text messages in front of him, right? But he's not showing those text messages, and I keep waiting for the text messages.
Off and on his friends. Had Chris ever threatened you before the 8th?
No,
Okay. Had he ever said he was showing you a gun that he was going to shoot you with?
no,
Ever shown you a gun?
no. I mean, I'm sure he probably carries.
But you never saw
I've
it?
never seen one, no,
You knew him for years.
right,
Never threatened your kids?
no,
Never seen him beat up another woman?
no,
Never seen him beat up kids or put kids in danger?
See, does
No.
not look like text
Just all of a sudden that one night.
Rude.
Pass the witness.
Well, thank you, Mr. Redirect, Mr. Spitzer.
Thank you, Judge. Did Gabby have any complications during her birth?
yes.
What complications?
To be honest, I'm not quite sure. I know they ended up doing an emergency C-section. Her due date was not until the beginning of
Relevant.
February, like the first week of February. Her induction date was, I want to say they were going to do an induction date on the 27th of January, just because she's so tiny. Gabby's by 80 pounds, not pregnant. She's tiny.
So she had a C-section.
Right, her water had broke. I know she was dilated to at least 6 centimeters, and something happened. I don't know if baby got stuck or what happened. They went into an emergency C-section. Nobody was in there but Gabby.
And I'm sorry, the date of birth of your grandchild is what?
January 23rd, 2026.
There's no possible relevance at all. There's none. Because what don't you believe, V? I don't understand. she hasn't even said anything yet. But so the fire happened, 2 years ago, Kelly. She just had her baby in January. There's no relevance at all.
You made the comment you stand corrected on something. There was no question before you. In case the jury wants to know, what do you stand corrected on, if you remember?
As far as the things that were taken out of the house by Chris before the house fire, the only things that were taken out of the house was his clothes and that speaker. The TV was left in there because it was broken. The dressers and the nightstand was left in there because it was broken. either given to me from him or his mom. I don't remember which one it was, but they were given to me because like I was still putting things in my house at that point in time. And whatever other equipment with lights and whatever he had, that stuff was gone, but the big stuff was still there.
So you made the comment, I wrote down, everything basically of this defendant was gone prior to the fire.
Yes.
How do you know that?
Well, my kids told me. Him and his cousin had, Chris and his cousin had showed up and they put everything into his truck and left. They were only there 10, 15 minutes and if that, and they were gone.
And, you know, the residence was relatively small, correct?
Right.
The parking lot or the driveway is within 10 feet of the residence, correct?
Yeah.
There were some questions, there have been questions about this relationship between you and this defendant. As far as you were concerned, you were not boyfriend, girlfriend, correct?
No.
There was not going to be a relationship that was further in depth between you and he.
No.
You do not know what was going on inside that man's mind, though. Isn't that safe to say?
Yes.
And you were allowing him to stay with you, correct?
Yes.
And you were having some intimate relations with him, correct?
Yes.
This statement, this communication that's talking about the gun and shooting you, why did you not tell law enforcement that night about that conversation?
At that point in time, I don't even think I was thinking about that. I was thinking more if my kids were okay, if they were safe. Trying to make sure mentally that they were okay. Gabby was still bawling, still crying. Trey, I could see it on his face. He was like, didn't even know what to do. He was just standing up staring at the house, just didn't know what to do. My main focus and concern was on my kids at that point in time.
And then what about a couple days later?
I believe I was asked about that because I remember bringing up the conversation, the text message, the phone calls, whatever had gotten brought up somewhere. I don't remember exactly how it got brought up, but I remember talking about it. I don't remember who somebody somewhere, it had gotten talked about that there was a threat of being shot. The threat of him telling my kids that if she's not here in 10 minutes, I'm gonna shoot her.
That were words said by this defendant.
Correct.
So we're here in court today, you're under oath. Are you able to confirm with this jury that that is what the conversation was with the defendant on that Sunday?
Correct.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, Mr. Pitzer. Mr. Majeric, recross.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chelsea, you said the night of the fire, the thing you were worried about were your kids.
Yes.
And the night of the fire, the patrolman that was at the scene and asking you questions, you in fact told him that you had talked to Chris 20 minutes before your kids called, and he was cool with it.
Yes.
He was cool with coming over and he was cool with getting his stuff.
Yeah. When we asked him to get his things, he said, okay, yeah, I'm on my way there now to get my stuff.
I'm on my way there now, and then he gets there, right?
Yes.
You didn't tell the patrolman, he said, I'm gonna shoot you, you better get a gun.
No, because that was prior to that conversation. That was when
I don't hear what all of you hear. I don't hear her saying any of that at all. I just don't get it.
he was arguing and fighting before he was calm and I'm on my way to the house to get my
Well,
things.
what time was that? Because you didn't bring that up with either the patrolman or the detective.
I would say probably an hour or so. Yeah, probably about an hour or so before that even happened with the house.
And the two conversations that you had, the one with the patrolman outside of the trailer, the house, and the other when you popped in and did the conversation with Detective Laux, You never bring up the gun or the threats. Correct?
Honestly, I don't remember.
And that didn't come up until recent conversations with the prosecutors?
No, it had came up before that, 'cause I remember talking about it around the time the house fire happened. I remember that happening because my fiance said, I remember him saying, we was in front of somebody, I don't know if it was a fire chief, a fire marshal, in front of the fire arson investigator, or whoever. In the next few days, we had talked to so many people. I don't remember who he was talking to or who it was. I remember him saying, I even told him, I put my gun up. We're not doing that. I just want you to go get your things out of the house and leave. And that's when Chris, he was okay. I'm on my way there now to get my things. And that was the last time we had heard from Chris that entire night until we called him on FaceTime and asked him if he burned the house down.
The night of the fire, before Chris called and said, I'm on my way, gonna pick my stuff up. You were at the trailer, you were at the house, right?
When he said that?
No, just prior to that. Because you knew he was coming that night, right?
Right.
And you left because you knew he was coming.
No, we hadn't even been there yet.
You did not tell an officer that we left so there wouldn't be any interaction.
No, we were going to go to the house. We decided to not even go back to the house. So there was no interaction. We were going to meet him there at the house.
But then you made a choice not to because
We
of
had
the
choice
interaction?
Not to.
Okay, and that was just prior to him calling and saying he was on his way?
Right. We were going to go to the house and we were going to wait. We decided not to. So it didn't escalate into anything worse than what it already was. And it turned into something worse anyway.
Pass the witness.
Mr. Fisher.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chelsea, is it possible that when you had this conversation, it was in fact with a fire marshal or somebody who was investigating the fire as a possible arson?
It could have been. Like I said, we had talked to so many people within that. From the time the house fired, we got there to 72 hours, 4 days later. We talked to 50 different people.
So you did tell somebody about the conversation with regard to the gun and the shooting?
Right, that story, that whole night was told multiple times. So to say who that was actually said to, I can't tell you. I don't know.
Okay.
But I know that it was said.
And you did, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Right.
And you did actually talk to a fire marshal, Thomas O'Brien, I think is the gentleman's name. Does that make sense to you?
Couldn't tell you his name, but yes.
Okay. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Recross, Mr. Majeri.
No, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do you have any questions for Ms. Reeves? If you do, please raise your hand. I see no hands raised. Mr. Pitzer, released from her subpoena.
Please.
Mr. Majeri, released from her subpoena.
Yes.
Thank you for your testimony. You're released from your subpoena. You may exit through the back door. Okay. Let's have a lunch break, ladies and gentlemen. You're all jurors in this case. I must tell you now to repeat.
We don't need to hear the instructions. Don't talk about the case. Blah 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 blah. Go to lunch. Eat your lunch. All right. So we have. So the last part of testimony is 3 hours and 43 minutes. So that'll be 2 more live streams. And then we go into the closing arguments and the verdict. So that's how much longer this is going to take. And we're going to hear from the kids, but not from Gabby. Maybe 3 more days. So it's two streams for the second part of this day is 3 hours and 43 minutes. So that'll take up 2 live streams. That's the second half of the day we're in right now. And then the verdict and the closing statement and verdict is 1 stream. So 3 more streams. And what is today? Today is something. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Wednesday night we're going to get through some clips. I got a lot of stuff ready for you guys. I went through a lot of court in the last 2 days. Like, I bet I have 40 or more clips ready for the future. So we got some good stuff ahead. Thank you so much for coming out today, guys. I really appreciate it. I really do. And I will see you all in about 22 more hours. All right? Have a great, great, great Monday. Who knows what's going to happen this week? I love Mondays because anything can happen in court today. Anything. Behave, okay? Be nice. Never. I don't even want to hear that name ever again. Bye, guys.
Well, I thought I'd write a happy song. I found a chat room where I belong. You don't know how much it means to me. With such a groove, I'm less lonely. Oh, Kathy's the creator, she's leading the way. At court vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her smile shines bright, she's got that grace. Come join the fun, it's a welcome and play. I can count on distraction from my pain, 'cause this creator takes you there and back again. Kathy is the heart here, always in stride. Her work is hard, but her joy she can't hide. Oh, Kathy's the creator, she's leading the way. At court vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her style is classy, she's always top shelf. Don't take my word, come and see for yourself. Her cases are new with a twist or two. I really like them, I believe you will too. A little lifeline passed along in rhyme. Why don't you join us? It's a guaranteed good time.